month or so, how it has been, and getting back to the field. Also, about the innings today, the kind of conversations that was going on in the field.
Yeah, I think it's been quite a tough 1 month for I think the team and as well as 2 or 3 of us who were in quarantine. So yeah, it's finally good to be back and come back, especially in open air, play some cricket and yeah, contribute for India. And yeah, regarding today's I think batting, we definitely had a conversation regarding that we need a good base to chase 250. So yeah, that's what we were looking for.
Just one more, if I may. The partnership with Harman, how crucial was it for the team in this match as well as going into the World Cup, and that big hug after that six? Could you talk us about that?
Well, yeah, I think it was really important for the whole team, and it was actually good to see her come back and play the kind of shots she was playing, and I was really happy from the other end to watch those sixes flying from a bat. And yeah, I just it just actually didn't really think, it just like kind of came from within, that when she hit that six I just felt like hugging her. So I was actually really happy for her. So it just came out. So but for the team, I think going into the World Cup, it was really important for the partnership to happen, and of course for both of us to get confidence along with all the other batters.
Congratulations, well played, and best wishes for the World Cup.
Thank you.
Hi guys.
Hi.
This is Vinay from Scroll.in. My question to you is, fielding coach Ghosh.
Yeah.
Just talk to us a little bit about your preparations and how hard has it been without the match time, and something that Coach Pawar touched up on when he came for the press conference, how it's not been easy because of lack of game time in terms of getting going as a fielding unit. Just talk to us about that, and how impressed were you with the fielding performance today, especially?
Okay. Actually, to be honest, when you landed in New Zealand, before that we didn't get any camps, all those things because of COVID, all these things. But when he landed, the first thing was to adjust to the condition. That was the main criteria. But to be honest, when he started in the first match and today, I think we can see the huge improvement from every place. I think we have taken some good catches, especially the mention of Smriti. The last matches, she took a brilliant catch, and Renuka also. I think there are a couple of good catches we have taken, but if, one concern maybe we have created few runouts and execution that we are looking for. In practice session, I think girls are doing really hard work, and hopefully we'll do well in the World Cup. Actually.
Done. No one's asking anything.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Smriti. Priya
Hi.
Ragi this side from India.
Hello.
My question for you is, what have you as a senior player, and even in a broader sense, entire team learned from this series? Because outside noise has gotten louder, but you were with the team, with the group. So how do you reflect at India's preparation now?
Well, I think I think all the girls are really disconnected from the outside noise, and that's the best thing. Because when I joined the camp, even though we had lost first few matches, everyone was really positive about their preparations. They were really keen to go out there and still go and practice hard, and that's what is in our hand. And the whole group believes that we can really work hard in practice sessions, and follow the process. I think that till we are doing the process right, I don't think the outside noise is going to really affect the girls. So that's what we believe in as a group, that we really have to go out there every practice session, every time, that following the process. And I'm sure that this win is going to boost the confidence, and of course make us believe more in the process.
Also, one last thing. Why were you, Meghna, and Renuka in MIQ while others were out? Because
I
there has
think
been no clarity on that. If you
I
could.
think the whole. I think I'm sure this has been answered quite a lot before this. So yeah, I had arrived late in New
No, it
Zealand.
hasn't. That is why I'm asking.
Yeah, I can tell about myself that I had arrived late in New Zealand because of some personal problem. So yeah, that is why I had to be in quarantine later on. I started my quarantine after the girls had already, started their quarantine.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Snehal.
Yep, I'll go. Hello, Snehal Pradhan here. First question for the fielding coach. Especially in New Zealand, there's a lot of
You have only one
factor
question.
which has to be taken into account. There's a lot of wind factor which has to be taken into account. But how do you design your fielding session such that the players are prepared for this wind factor?
Yes, wind is a concern in New Zealand, but I'm designing few fielding drills with maybe tennis ball and softball. But one thing is common in thing. If you want to take all those high catches, you need to have good base. So that's what we are focusing on more, getting a good base, so they can. If the ball is still going away from you, still you can dive and take the catches. So see, these are the finer points we are working on.
Thank you. And a question for Smriti.
I said you have only one question.
Yes, but I'm going to put one anyways. They say that you can really tell a lot about a team as to how it reacts when the team is losing. You lost 5 matches in a row, including the T20. What was the mood like in the group? How were you reacting to that situation within the team, which has now kind of resulted in a good finish?
As I said earlier, as a group, even when I joined the team, I never felt that there was any negativity. Everyone was really positive about the practice sessions, the processes, and we all knew the bigger picture is the World Cup. So we cannot really get our head down just before the start of the World Cup. So we all knew that. This series is gonna help us prepare for the World Cup, but yeah, this is not like if we lose here, it's not the end of the world. So all the girls, of course, it was hurting us the losses, but definitely everyone was really positive, and I think that's something which has helped us to come back and get a win today on the board.
Thank you. All the best for the World Cup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kalyani.
Hello, Smriti.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello, Smriti. Hello, coach. Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
My question is regarding the change in batting order for today. Was it just match specific, or was just to check out some plans going into the World Cup?
I don't think anyone from the like the head coach or the captain would be a better person to answer this question because definitely we both are not really involved in that sort of a meeting. But I'm sure that today there was a change that Yasika didn't play, and I think maybe that's what has led to the batting order change. And yeah, I'm just guessing. I'm not really sure. I think a captain and the head coach would be a better person to answer this question.
Thank you so much, and all the best for World Cup and brilliant innings today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Sudarshanan here. One question for Subhadeep about takeaways of India's fielding this series. And to you, Smriti, India's record batting first hasn't been great since last year. So, what are the talks around that, and how are you guys planning on going forward for the World Cup in that sense?
As I said earlier, I think where we started and where today is, I think there is a huge difference between among these days. I think we need to set a good standard, which I think probably today is the best day probably in fielding. This is the standard we need to maintain throughout the World Cup. This has been the talk throughout the last 1 or 2 weeks. The consistency in fielding, taking catches, creating all those things, and moreover, I am talking more about being the fielding captain on the ground, so that they know all those things which is going to happen on the match. So these are the focus is going on last couple of weeks.
Sorry, I forgot my question. Can you repeat?
India's record batting first. They haven't won a game since they started since 2021. So, what are the talks around that, and how do you guys plan to go forward?
Well, I think batting first, if we are getting a score of anything about 250, 260, which we are, I think in last one and a half year, we have been getting scores around that, about 250. So I wouldn't say that the record is like, of course, we are not getting the win on the board, but I think batting first, we are definitely getting a respectable total on the board, because I believe the second and the third. One day I think we got 270 and 280 odd runs, which is a good total to have. So definitely I think that's something which the whole team is working on, defending totals. Definitely we will get better in the World Cup going forward. We'll be able to defend any sort of total. So yeah, that's the talk definitely in the girls, and I'm sure that it will happen in the World Cup.
Thanks, good luck.
So last two guys, Anisha and then Bharat. Thank you.
Thanks, James. Hi, Smriti. Hi, Subhadeep. Smriti, for you, can you tell us a bit about the conversations you may have had with Harmanpreet in between matches, just to pep her up, given she was going through a bit of a rut? And the second question is, Deepti has been the vice captain for the last two matches. Were you informed of the decision, and were you sort of kept in the loop as to why the team management is going for Deepti as the vice captain?
What was the first question? Sorry, I forgot.
Conversation between.
Conversations with Harmanpreet.
Okay. No, I think for me, with whatever we had, I had spoken to Harry. He was outside cricket, because definitely someone who's going through that, if they're not feeling confident or they're not timing the ball, so I think it's better not to talk to them about cricket. That's what I believe. So yeah, it's not about cricket or batting, but we just spend time going out, having dinners, having fun, so that we all can distract her mind off it, and maybe she can start fresh. So that's just what we had thought, few of us, that we can just do that for her. And I don't think I have had conversations with Harry regarding batting anything before. I think just going out in middle today. And yeah, regarding vice captainship, I think definitely I spoke after I spoke to the selectors after that, but yeah, today I think it was different, but yeah, I think it was a BCCI and selectors call.
Thanks and all the best.
Yeah, hi. My question is for Smriti. Smriti, if you tell us why Julian didn't play all the games in the series, and secondly, batting is doing fine. Bowling seems to be a little concern, as the captain mentioned in the last game. What more you need to do to fix that problem ahead of the first match in World Cup?
Well, I think the first question, as I said, it's better for the head coach and the captain to answer those sort of questions. But how much I know it, I think it was about workload management before World Cup. I'm sure the Pacers, we need fresh legs going into the World Cup. So I think that was the talk regarding that. What is the second question? Sorry.
I also.
It was about bowling being a concern.
Okay. I think the bowlers did amazing today. They bowled to the plan, and the way they were changing the fields and bowling according to the field. It was really good to see. So for me as a player or as a team player, I think I will just look at it for today. So I think our bowlers did an amazing job today. But in general, I think it's just been a very difficult conditions to bowl to, flat wickets, good outfields. So yeah, it took a while for the bowlers to understand their plans and how to bowl in these sort of conditions. So yeah, I'm really happy the way they came together and bowled together today. And I think we had amazing bowling partnerships today, especially in between 20 to 40 overs. That's what we were lacking, and I think our bowlers stood up and did it for us today.
Thanks, guys. We'll finish there. Cheers.